What's going on, YouTube? This is SG1 Sports. It has been over 4 years, since I have done a Dynasty series here on this channel. One of the things that we did early on, and you go back to the history of SG1 Sports when it was Sports Gaming 1, one of the biggest things that we did was we did these NCAA Football gaming series, and it's just been a long time since I've done one. And I'll be honest, it's probably been that long. It's probably been over 4 years since I've played a full game on NCAA football. Yeah, I'm putting out all this time doing these rosters and everything, but actually playing the game, it's something that I haven't really had time to do, or took the time to do, I guess I should say. And it's something that I want to bring back to the channel. Now, how much of this will we bring back to the channel? I don't know. It depends on how many people watch the videos, how many views we get. So if you like this, if you want to see more of this, make sure you like the videos, you comment, you share the videos, all of those things. But we're going to start with the Auburn Tigers. This was the very first Dynasty that we did here on the channel. It was an Auburn Dynasty back, again, over 4 years ago, the 2017 season. Now we have our own rosters, and you know, I have played with them here and there. We've done some testing and things, and I love these rosters, by the way. You can get them on Patreon. You can get these Dynasty files on Patreon as well. So we're gonna play through here and see if we can turn this Auburn team around. Again, I haven't played in a long time. I'm probably not going to be very good. I'm probably not going to do great in recruiting. So you guys can help me out in the comments and give me advice and things like that. If you're wanting to watch somebody that's going to play and win every game 70-0 and win national championships every single year, that this video is not going to be for you, because I'm probably going to struggle. Let's just be honest here. So with the recruiting board, that's the first thing we need to do. Actually, let's go back to that in a second. Let's take a look at the schedule just to show you that this is the 2021 schedule. Akron, FCS, there's the Penn State game on the road. Georgia State, there is the full schedule. Luckily, we get Akron to start off, so we get a game that hopefully won't be too tough. And the depth chart, you know, we'll look at what this, you know, I don't think we're going to make any changes. This is what the depth chart looked like for Auburn. And we do have a roster that has been updated since this roster. We've got the end of year rosters now coming out, and Auburn has been updated. So a lot of these ratings are actually different. For example, Roger McCreary, he's like a 96, I think, with the final roster. He's only an 88 here. And this is kind of more like what the preseason expectations were. And so you see the depth chart. Again, we're not going to make any changes here. No reason to make any changes. So let's go to the red shirt players. Let's see if we need to red shirt anybody. And we're going to go position by position. So as of right now, I don't really see needing Demetrius Davis, so I'll probably red shirt him. I suppose we'll keep TJ Finley for a backup in case Bo Nix gets hurt or something like that. We better not redshirt him. Of course, I guess we could always burn his red shirt. There's Jarquez Hunter, who wound up being really good. But, you know, you don't necessarily need 3 backs, and we've got Sean Shivers, who has a lot of speed. I might go ahead and redshirt Hunter, because I think Shivers, I know Hunter was better in real life, but Shivers is going to be really good on this game because of his speed. We go to the wide receivers. Really don't need all of these players. Redshirt a couple of those. I will leave Malcolm Johnson because of his speed. We might wind up putting him in the lineup at some point. We don't need 4 tight ends. And we'll go ahead and redshirt Brendan Coffey. On the defensive line, you know, if you can redshirt a 79 overall, you're going to be in pretty good shape. And then we'll redshirt Lee Hunter at defensive tackle. Romello Height. So many of these players have transferred in real life. I mean, we probably need to keep a backup here. And that's probably going to do it. Those are the players we're going to redshirt. And let's go to the recruiting. All right, so we do have real life recruits. These are not going to be perfect recruits as far as their rankings and everything. So I'm not going to try to think about real life, how good the players were and everything. I'm just going to look at these players and look where they're ranked. I guess we need to see our team needs. So what do we need? We definitely need a fullback. Well, we don't really play with a fullback, so that doesn't matter. I guess it wouldn't hurt to have a fullback on the roster. And you see this roster really is in pretty good shape on offense. I don't really know where we have any big needs. We have freshmen really at every position pretty much. On defense, we could use a middle linebacker and a cornerback. So we're going to start with those two positions. Make sure we take care of those two positions, middle linebacker and cornerback. All right, so I like to, I guess you don't really see the interest level before when you set this up. Again, it's been a long time since I've done this. I thought that it told you the interest before you even set up your recruiting board. So I guess not. Oh yeah, there you go. That's what the green is for. That'll tell you if a player is interested. Bear with me, guys. Again, it's been a long time. All right, let's go to the middle linebacker. We just don't have anybody interested. That's why there's nothing showing up. No middle linebackers are interested. All right, there is Von Alston, middle linebacker. Try to get him. There's a 3-star. So we want to make sure that we get 1 or 2 middle linebackers, even if we have to settle for a 3-star. So we're going to add several of those to the recruiting board, and then we're also going to add a cornerback. We're going to add several cornerbacks as well. There's Travis Hunter, only a 4-star. Wow. Again, I don't know when these were made. I didn't make them. But a lot has changed, obviously, since they were made. Several cornerbacks, several 4-star corners are going to be interested in this, so that's good. All right, so we added 11 players to the recruiting board. That means we still have several more to add. So let's go back to the board and see if, which of these top players is interested in us. We've got Raleek Brown. We're talking about a 5-star running back. We've got to add any 5-stars that have interest in us. We've got to add them to the board. And I don't understand why this goes from 5-star and then it goes to 3-star. So whoever made these recruiting rankings probably didn't know how to do everything. They're still pretty cool though to have these real life players. All right, do we want to look for a quarterback of the future? Maybe a Tanner Bailey. And just for the heck of it, we will add Malik Murphy, 5-star scrambler. Would be huge to pick him up. Probably not going to get him, but you never know. There's another 5-star, Emmanuel Henderson. So we got several running backs to try to add to this recruiting class. We will add a fullback. I don't know who might be interested in this, but it would be nice to have a fullback, a true fullback on the roster. We'll add Ben Wilkerson, a 2-star. There's only one 4-star, and he's not interested. Let's just see if there's anybody that's from maybe Alabama, maybe a 3-star. There's the Decatur, Alabama, Justin Jones, 3-star. We'll add him. All right, wide receivers. Who's interested in us? There's Jaden Marshall. Cameron Miller. A.J. Johnson. Several 4-stars. And we're going to fill up this board awfully quick. I need to probably slow down. I like to add any 4-star that has interest. There's a 5-star Jack Peterson. We'll add him. We've got several tight ends already on the roster. Can always use some offensive linemen. Man, we are filling this board up too quickly. That's going to be an issue. Because we haven't added like hardly any defensive players. So we're going to probably have to go back and take some guys off. Because here we are. We've already filled it up. We've already filled it up, and I haven't even gotten to the secondary. So let's go back to the recruiting board and see who we might want to take off. Again, we don't have a lot of needs, so it's really about trying to get some of those elite players. I mean, we want to try to get a quarterback in this class. We're pretty young at running back. So let's scout these two. I thought that I scouted Barrett Rogers here. So he's only a 77, so we're going to remove him. You saw it, Dallin Hayden there. He went up because we scouted him. We're going to leave our two fullbacks. Probably don't need 6 wide receivers here. Let's scout these two and see which one we might want to get rid of. Yeah, Henderson dropped to a 69. So did Hardy. Wow. Well, I guess let's just remove them both. And offensive linemen, we haven't really added too much there. So that, how many did that free us up? That'll give us 3 more spots. So we're going to go and maybe go to the secondary, to the safety. We've already added a corner. So all we need to do now is add some safeties. There are no free safeties interested in us, it seems. That's strong safeties. We'll add a couple of these. And so that still leaves us with 1 more player to add. Well, let's just see about maybe adding a kicker. And there you go. So we're just going to stick with that. I'm not going to use all the points and scout the players and everything. I feel pretty good about that board. And so we're ready to advance to the season. And we may just go ahead and play our first game here, and then I'll do the recruiting for week 1, which might actually be on the next episode. All right, so here we go. We are going to advance to the regular season. All right, so I forgot about the whole week 0 thing, and that means Auburn's not going to have a game here in week 1 because we do have the week 0, which is going to be week 1 here on the actual game. So we will do the recruiting here for week 1. And again, if you're interested in getting these Dynasty files, all you got to do is join us on Patreon. And you can see it does have the updated schedule. Here are the week 0 games: Nebraska, Illinois, Hawaii, UCLA. Let's see. I can't even remember if Auburn was in the preseason poll or not. I don't think they were. No, so we're not going to be ranked to start off the season. We're there at number 30. Number 30. All right, we'll see if we can make our way into the top 25. That Penn State game early on, of course, is going to be a big one. So let's go to the recruiting now and see what we can do to rebuild this Auburn team. I guess this first episode really going to be all about recruiting. We'll get to our first game in episode 2. And let's go to our recruiting board. And we don't have everyone in. I probably should have kind of put these players in order. So who do we want the most and all of that? And where is the interest level? So I'm kind of trying to come up with a strategy here. think pretty much every player here, we're at least somewhere. I mean, there's a 9, Malik Murphy. So this would be a huge, huge, huge pickup to add a 5-star dual threat quarterback. We really would like to get him. And we'd like to use everything that we can to try to get Malik Murphy. He could be a game changer for us. So definitely want to try to get him. There's Justin Jones, a fullback. I don't know that do we really want to spend points on a fullback who we're all the way down at number 8. Fullback's not that important. Don't even have to add one, really. So we're going to maybe just move him to the bottom of the board. Probably won't really pursue him. And we'll go back to where were we here on the... So I'm just kind of browsing through these players, seeing where the interest level is with each of them. And yeah, we've got a good shot with all of these players. Even the ones that don't have us really high, we've got a chance. So Malik Murphy is going to be our biggest target. We're going to move him all the way up to number 1. I don't even remember doing the recruiting on this game. I know that I've played it before, obviously, but it's been so long, so long. And now that cornerback position going to be very important, middle linebacker position. And I guess you can't really reorder. Okay, so Travis Hunter would obviously be a huge get. I mean, we would love to get him. I'll go ahead and offer him a scholarship. Use all the points we can on him. That would be monumental for us. And we're going to go ahead and offer scholarships to several of these players. And there's Holloway. So we're number 1 on him. I like our chances to get him. We'll go ahead and start with about 250. With Groves and Brown, we're a little bit lower. We'll see how that goes. And then the middle linebackers, again, very important. Wow, none of these guys came out very high overall. We've got to go all in on Von Austin. He's the only one with really a very high rating. And we're number 1 right now, so I like our chances there. These other players, we're just going to spend a little bit, kind of see where we are next week. I don't even like recruiting a guy that's like in the low 60s. I mean, probably never going to play, but I guess you never know. And we need to make sure we at least get somebody. Okay, so back to the recruiting board. We've got Malik Murphy up there. We're going to move Travis Hunter. He's going to be number 2 on the board. And then Von Austin going to be number 3 on the board. Then we'll have Holloway there. So who is our next priority after those? Wow, there's an 82 overall defensive end, Jeremiah Alexander. Let's see if we can maybe get him. I mean, we're no points behind. We're at number 4, but we're not really behind. So we're going to go with 300 points for him and move him up to number 9, or excuse me, number 5 on the board. Emmanuel Henderson would obviously be huge. It's going to probably be between us and Alabama. Another guy that I'm going to probably put about 300 points on. And we may go back and add to some of these. Dallin Hayden also, and wow, we got several running backs that we've got a shot at. We're going to try to get at least maybe 2 of these guys. That would be huge. Dallin Hayden, we'll go ahead and start out with about 300 on him. We're going to offer Raleek Brown. we're going to move these two guys up the recruiting board as well. The way I like to do it, I like to have about 10 to 15 guys and just kind of go all out on those guys. I'm not looking for a huge class. I'd rather get 10 4-stars than 23 stars, if that makes sense. That's just kind of how I've always done it. There's a big tight end for us, Jack Peterson. I think he was a 5-star, 80 overall. Could be a big pickup for us. Move him up to a number 9. Man, there are several guys here that are rated pretty highly that we've got a shot with. Can always use a big tackle. We got an 80 overall here. Not even sure how to say his name. Tegra Shabola, maybe. And we're going to move him up the board. Would love to get a couple of big offensive linemen in this class. Auburn could use some help on the offensive line. There was another 80 overall here, Ernest Green. And I don't want to offer all of the scholarships right away either. I think there was another tackle. Yeah. Joe Bruner, he's an 80 overall. We're just kind of sticking to this 300 number for right now. We're going to offer him a scholarship. And you see the points, they're filling up pretty quickly. We'll put him there at number, where does that put him at number 12? There's a wide receiver that is an 80 overall that we've got a shot at. We're going to try to get him. I'm going to drop the points to about 250. Now that we are starting to get close to running out. There's an 80 overall defensive end, Riley Quick. See if we can get him. Oh, there's our fullback. I'll tell you what, he's a 79 overall. That's pretty impressive for a fullback. I mean, if we really want to get a fullback, this will be a big pickup. So I'm going to move him up the board a little bit, since the fullback position is an area of need. And I think we're going to go ahead and bump Holloway up to 300. So our points, again, we're running out of points, but that's okay. Trying to figure out who we really want. And there's some other good players in here. I mean, Tanner Bailey might be a backup here at quarterback. I don't really like pocket passers, though, so I'm not going to go crazy with him. Let's just kind of spend about 25 on the rest of these guys and then see where we're at. You know, some of them will quickly, they'll drop far enough to where we don't really have a great shot. Again, just kind of filling these guys out. Harold Perkins. Again, these ratings change so much. This is a big-time player. We're going to offer him a scholarship. Move him up the board. And I think we've used... Okay, so... I'll go ahead and use another 25 down here. And there you go. Worked out pretty well. We're not even going to try for this Justin Jones. We really need to get that other fullback. If we're going to get a fullback, if we can't get him, maybe don't worry about it. So these guys that we gave 25, 50 points, not huge targets for us. but the top 15 or so, those are the guys we really want. If we could get a good chunk of those 15 players, I would be really happy. So that's what the recruiting board looks like here. We're going to advance the week, and like I said, because of the whole week 0 thing, not going to see a game today. But really, to rebuild this program, it all starts with recruiting. Yes, we're going to play through the games and see what we can do in 2021, because I think this roster is good enough to where we could possibly have a good season. But as far as winning a championship and all of that, I don't know if the roster is quite there yet. We're going to advance the week here. And on our next episode, we will go to week 1, which is going to look like week 2 here because of the whole week 0. And we're going to play Akron in our first game. So that should be a fun one. We'll see how we can do, kind of figuring out this team and who's going to be who are going to be the players that step up for this team and all of that as we go through the entire season. Again, if you want to see more of this Dynasty series and other series like this, make sure you let me know down in the comments. Make sure you like the videos, all of that. But for now, we've got our recruiting board set up. We've recruited our first week, and going to be interesting to see what that looks like the next week and which players move up and down with their interest. So thanks for watching this video, and stay tuned for more here on the SG1 Sports YouTube channel.